Well, hello there. Welcome to online learning from Miss Oren's house. I guess, yeah, we're going to see how this goes and make it up as we go and hope it works. If you ever have any problems or questions, please send me an email or jump on Zoom. I really want to be here to answer your questions. So if you're watching videos and you still don't quite understand what's going on, then please make sure you get in touch with me. I don't want you to be watching these and still be confused. Feel free to watch them as many times as you like. And if you're still not sure how to do it after a couple of viewings, then yeah, get in touch with me and we can try and work something out. So to begin with, we're just going to do a bit of a review on bearings because it was a while ago and we had to finish quite abruptly. So let's just talk a little bit about going from one point to the other and then finding bearings from the other direction. So there were two different ways that we talked about directions. So obviously, when we look at a compass, we have north and south and east and west. And when we talk about directions, we talk about it from north and south. So if I'm doing this and I tell you that this is 30 degrees, I have to go from north, right? So it's north. How many degrees did I go to the east? Well, this is a 90-degree quadrant, obviously. So if this bit here is 30, then this bit here has to be 60. So I'm going to call this north 60 degrees east because I went from north towards the east. So if I put something over here, let's say that this is 25 degrees and I want to talk about this direction. Well, this one is closer to south than north, so I'm going to start with south. How far towards the west did I go? Well, if this bit here is 25, well, what does that make this bit here? That makes that 65. So then I'm going to call this south 65 degrees west because we started at south, then we went 65 degrees towards the west. So that's one way you can talk about directions. The other way we can talk about directions is by talking about true bearings. And true bearings always go from north. So if I draw another little thing, and we call this north, and if I put something over here, and let's say that I've called this 50 degrees, I always have to go from north. So I'm interested in how far from north I've gone. So I've gone 90 degrees here in this quadrant, and then I've gone an extra 50. So this is 140 degrees true, is what we call it. So it's true from north. So if I put something over here, let's say that this one over here, and I call this, let's say I call this 18 degrees. So what I want to do now is figure out how far I've gone from north. And there are two ways you can do that. I can add the three quadrants. So I've got 90, then 180, and then 270. And then I just have to add this little 18. So that gives me 288 degrees true. The other way I could have done that is just say, well, I just have to take this bit off 360. So 360 minus, well, if this bit here is 18, what does that make this bit here? It makes it 72, which gives us 288 degrees true. I don't really mind which way you do it, as long as it makes sense to you. All right, so that is a little bit about the difference between the types of bearings, the types of directions. Let's now have a go at finding bearings from one point to another. So I'm going to mark a little point here, A. I'm going to call this point A. And what I'm going to say is that B lies, let's say 125 degrees true from A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where 125 degrees would be, and then I'm going to draw a line to get to point B. So if this is 90 and this is 180, or 125 definitely lies in the middle of this. So I might draw a line about here. You don't have to be perfect for this. I'm just going to do it roughly. So that means that this bit here is 125 degrees. And then I'm just going to draw another little north line so I can tell what's going on from point B. Now, what I can do here is think about some different angles. So if this bit here is 125, that makes this bit here 90, which makes this bit here 35. Now, we've already talked about different kinds of angles. So if this bit here is 35, then so is this bit here, because these are alternate interior angles. This is something we did in another topic. Hopefully you remember that. So if I'm now being asked to find the bearing from B to A. So before I did A to B, right, I knew that B was from A 125, but now I want to go backwards. So I'm going to say I want to go from B to A, but you remember you always go clockwise from north. So I'm actually going to go from here, and I want to know what this is here, this angle here. Now, if this is 3 quadrants worth, well, I know that's 270, don't I? There's a quadrant here, like I could draw some extra lines if you want, 90, 180, 270, and then I just have to add my 35, which gives me 305 degrees. True. Now, again, like we did before over here, we could have just said, I'm going to subtract this little bit here from 360. So 360 minus, well, if this bit here is 35, that obviously makes this bit here 55. So I'm going to subtract 55, and that still gives me 305 degrees true. So again, I don't mind which way you do it. Whichever makes more sense to you is fine with me, as long as you end up with the right answer. All right, let's have another go at one of these. So this time I'm going to draw my little north thing, and I'm going to call this point A. And I'm going to say that B lies, let's say 200 degrees this time. 200 degrees true from A. So this time I need to find where 200 degrees is from here. So what I'm going to say is, well, I know a straight line is 180, so it's a bit more than that, 20 degrees more. So I'm going to go down here, right? Because down here would have been 180, and I need to keep going around. So I'm going to call this B, and then again, I'm going to put in my other north line. So I'm going to do some of this stuff again. So if I know that this is 180 and this bit here is 20, doesn't that make this bit here 20 as well? Because these are alternate interior angles again. So if I'm going to go from point B to point A, well, it's already sort of written there for me. I don't have to do any more work. So it's just 20 degrees true. If I was going to say B lies to 20 degrees true from A. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Hopefully that's just a bit of a revision and you remember how to do your bearings. We're going to look at some trigonometry next.